ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, Legion by Lenovo, Mountain Dew League, and ESEA.
G'day guys and welcome back to the NA Pro League. It is now time for our second matchup of the night. Immortals up against, well, they were used to be called Selfless. Now they're called the Foundation. I don't know if they're even really the same team. There's only one player that's come across. So I suppose maybe you could argue two, but it's kind of weird.
That's still not a three-player core, but by any stretch. So it's going to be interesting to see how they go. Of course, it's weird because we can talk about their standings at the moment. I believe they're currently 1-17, so that's not great. But it's also a different team. Technically, the Foundation as a lineup is 0-2.
Yeah, which is, I guess, still not a great run so far.
It's much better than 1-17.
Admittedly, they did play Cloud9 in that 0-2, so overall, I mean, it's always going to be tough going up against Cloud9. I think it's going to be tough going up against Immortals here. Realistically speaking, I don't see this one going really anywhere in the favor of Foundation. I'm thinking 2-0 fairly comfortably for Immortals. So we'll see. We will see. Let's have a look and see how things have gone throughout today as well. Liquid getting the 2-0 over Optic. Close matches though, but still they get the job done. Just like these ones here between Luminosity and Rush. 16-14 on the first map, 16-8 on the second. So,
yeah, interesting games. And of course, just touching on the Foundation again, that 2-0 against Cloud9, it was quite close. It was 16-14 against them on Cbble and 16-12 against them on Cage. So it's still a close game, of course. You expect to get beaten by Cloud9, and getting that many rounds on the board is not bad for them, but this is a lineup who's only been together for really a week, I think, max. So they parted with the Selfless organization last week and promptly lost a lot of players. So Slemmy, I believe, went over to a different organization. Can't remember who off the top of my head, but he was sold to maybe, I think, Complexity, actually. And then no one... Well, CJ doesn't want to play out the rest of the season, I think. No one isn't playing, so it's almost a completely new lineup, which is interesting for the Foundation. But going up against an Immortals side who is currently sitting in 6th place at 9-5, not going to be easy.
Yeah, no, definitely not going to be too easy. This Immortals roster has looked quite good in the past. I mean, they've got wins over a lot of the good teams in this competition, of which, of course, the Foundation, ex-Selfless, have really not been able to do. One round, or one map is really the only thing that ex-Selfless have been able to get throughout Pro League. So, I definitely think that Immortals have a fairly easy time of this one, especially considering the maps that we've got coming out here. Well, at least Cobblestone in particular, that one should be, in my eyes, a very, very clean win here for Immortals.
It is worth noting, though, that Cobblestone map, Cobblestone is the only map that the Foundation ex-Selfless have won. They've won precisely one map in all of Pro League so far. Yep. That was it. It was a 16-7 against CLG, so could be worse. But looking over at the Immortals side, of course, they've played Cobble 2-3 and 4-1 actually. There we go. I can mathematics on Cobble at the moment. They've had one loss at the hands of SK, which is understandable. Yep. And they've beaten the likes of Optic, Cloud9, Winterfox, and Rush. Yeah,
and being able to get wins over Optic and Cloud9, like that's quite respectable, really. Like, that's quite a big win for them. So, overall, yeah, like I said, I think Cobblestone fairly secure here. We're getting Inferno as well again, so it's Cobblestone and Inferno for both maps, or matches tonight on the maps. Inferno, there's not so much to read into here because, you know, we haven't seen too much of it from Immortals. And again, as well, we haven't seen too much of it from this new roster called the Foundation. I keep thinking Selfless, and then I'm like, I've got to catch myself and say the Foundation.
Yeah, but they played it once.
Yeah, they played it once. That was against Rush. They did lose that, and it was with the different roster. So
yeah,
how much can you read into it? Probably not a lot.
Well, I mean, if we added up the amount of roster changes that Selfless or ex-Selfless or the Foundation or whatever name we want to assign them have gone through, it's got to be
Foundationless.
Sure. It's got to be 4 or 5 different changes they've made because, you know, they had their initial lineup and they brought in Slemmy, they brought in DSR, they've now swapped out pretty much everyone for this almost new lineup, which Caboose is the only name that was actually on Selfless for at least a considerable amount of time. So it'll be interesting to see this new lineup. They've played precisely one game. ZQK, obviously a Brazilian player. Caboose, the original player there from the Selfless lineup. MCED and Dizzy, all new players. Dizzy is a name I know. Yeah. He's a player I've seen a lot of in Pugs. I think he might be in Rank S as well. So definitely a good player. I'm not sure if this is his first decent level team experience. And as for MC and D, As an Australian, I don't pay too much attention to the depths of the NA scene, so anything below the top tier teams I haven't really heard of, unfortunately, so not sure where they've come from, but they're going up against a very well-established Brazilian lineup of Immortals, FNX, Steel, Henny, Lucas, and Bolts. That's a really tough team to beat.
It is really looking very, very strong. I mean, Henny with the AWP, always consistent and then backed up well by the rest of his teammates there. Like, they're all sitting almost at 1.0 or above. ADR's looking pretty good across the board. I mean, 89 for Lucas, 86 for FNS. If you can get to like 70 or above, really, you're sitting in a good spot in terms of the ADR. So all of them almost pretty much hitting that mark across the board for the Foundation. It doesn't look too bad on paper, but obviously on paper and in game, I suppose, are two different things.
They are, but that said, this one should really just be easy for Immortals. I mean, the Foundation, they've swapped back to this name because I believe it was Caboose that said, this is what a team that I was in used to be called, so we're going to use this because it's got a name and a logo, and that's better than being ex-selfless. But naming issues aside, I think this is a team that doesn't really have too much to show.
We'll see. We will see. Maybe they come out here and surprise us. Obviously, we're not expecting that, but who knows? I mean, it is kind of a fickle game at times. It could happen. Immortals, maybe they have a bad day.
Maybe the Foundation buy all Negevs all the time.
Maybe. We will see.
Because you can buy them from like the 3rd round.
Yeah. Well, we didn't see it last matchup, which is a little unfortunate. I wanted to see it. I wanted to see how people were going to use that weapon, but honestly, I suspect that we're going to be seeing both these teams thinking, look, okay, guys, you know, we're not going to pick it up, so you don't pick it up. Gentleman's agreement.
That's what we saw the last time we had a thing like this. When the R8 was last brought in, it was a gentleman's agreement. It was available in leagues, for league play, but most teams just said, look, we won't use it if you won't, because that was at the time when it had just been added. It was, you know, one-shotting people across the map to the chest.
It was pretty dumb.
Which was, I freely admit that I very much enjoyed playing with it in matchmaking, because, you know, who doesn't want to be in the wild, wild west? But for the integrity of Counter-Strike, it was not great.
No, definitely not. I don't think the Negev would have as big of an impact, to be honest. Like, I still am not sure about the wind-up time, like how easy it would be to actually use the Negev.
Yeah, it's very much a pre-fire gun now. You can't really run around. Like, the Negev of old, you used to be able to run around. Admittedly, it cost nearly $6,000, so it wasn't the most viable of things unless you're up by a lot of rounds. But you used to be able to treat it like an AK-47 that you never had to reload. You moved like you had a rifle, you'd pre-fire corners, you'd burst away. You know, you do all the stuff you would do with a rifle potentially, but the new one, very much a pre-fire machine, because you have to shoot at whatever it is you want to fire at for a good 1 or 2 seconds to get rid of that 16 bullet inaccuracy patch before you do get the laser-like thing. So it's very much, I think, something that's only going to be viable defensively, which means that CT side and a terrorist would have to carry it for an entire round to be able to use it post-plant. So it could be viable to lock down an area. We were talking about this before in the pre-show, like theory crafting a little bit. You could use it on Dust 2, for example. If you have a mid-spawn, you buy a Negev, you get rid of all the inaccuracy of the bullets and get to the laser accuracy before the CTs can cross. So that could work, although Dust 2 is out of the pool. On Mirage, for example, you could sit on B and spam through the wall-bangable panel into apps, and you can actually get all of those on a headshot angle. We tried it. It was ridiculous.
So like you no clip then through, and you look at it and it's like, oh.
Yeah, there's just a patch
there's like
all on the head.
There's like a circle of bullets right on the wall. And also, I think Plat maybe on Cobblestone, if you can get a good sort of wind up, maybe there's a smoke there, there's some guys behind it, smoke fades, you've got your gun wound up, who knows what you can do there. I don't know.
Personally, the way I want to see it used is just for wallbangs everywhere. Like, you know the chance wallbangs that people go for once with an AWP? I now want to see someone go for it 130 times with a Negev. Like on Overpass, the one through the wooden panel into short, just someone hold that. You know, you stop the CTs from getting aggressive. It's just, pardon me, pretty much every wallbang you can think of, I want to see someone do it with a Negev. I'm not saying it's viable or a good idea. I just think it'd be fun.
Gonna have to play a bit of MM then, I think, to have that happen, because
Maybe we can do that
I don't
later.
think we're gonna be seeing it here. But who knows? It is a possibility. It is allowed in the Pro League, so haven't seen anyone pick it up. Obviously, I haven't watched the mainstream. Maybe one of the teams playing there has picked it up. I don't know, but I don't know how it'll work in the competitive sense, really. Like, I just don't think it's quite there. You know, like if the only thing that you're going to be able to do with it really is like wallbang or spam down a line, it just doesn't feel like a very flexible kind of a gun to me.
I don't think it is, but of course it will eventually when it gets fully integrated back into competitive. It seems like it's going to be a very much single use case. You buy it and this is what you do. You have your list of 4 places you can use it and that's it. But the other thing is it's $2,000 right now. So why not?
Yeah,
just buy it and have a dig.
I mean, is it then better than a UMP? Like
$800 more. I don't think it's... See, UMP's thing is with them is they're viable offensively and defensively. So you can use it in lieu of a rifle in a force buy round, something like that. Whereas the Negev, it absolutely would outdamage a UMP defensively if you can have time to, you know, spool it up and get rid of that inaccuracy. But offensively, I mean, the only way you can really use it, and I've seen people do this in deathmatch, is you hold mouse 1 and W, and you hope that running inaccuracy, or walking, because it slows you down to 150 units, walking inaccuracy combined with the Negev's own inaccuracy means you can hit lucky headshots.
Yeah, well, enough about the Negev. We are going to be getting onto Cobblestone shortly. Immortals should be favored on this map very, very heavily, really. Selfless have played it against CLG, Liquid, SK, Complexity, and Cloud9. The only victory that they've had is against CLG. Now, admittedly,
that was second week of Pro League.
Pretty much all of those teams are teams which you would say probably a little bit better than the Foundation at this point. But who knows? Who knows what this new roster has got for us? We're about to see.
They've all got their nice root tags on. It's good. They all match their logo.
Why is it called the Foundation if they all got root? Why don't they just call it... Yeah, I understand. I understand that, but why don't they just call it root? Really? Why don't they just call it root?
Because...
That's what the logo says too.
I feel like people would just run away and make far too many double entendres with that. Possibly.
Probably.
Now that I've said that, there's absolutely going to be a... If the Foundation managed to win a round, there is some prime jokes that can be made.
Yeah, or if they get wrecked as well, maybe. Anyway, see how they start off here. It actually is looking okay. Caboose has started off with 2 kills for himself. So Immortals left a little bit wanting on the pistol round here. Their defensive setup is kind of isolated now, pretty much just to the connector and drop room. It's not going to be easy for them to have any control over the A or the B site here, unless one of them can go absolutely massive.
Which might be a bit difficult. So the Foundation in a great spot to start themselves off in this game. 5-on-3 advantage. Only small amount of damage taken by Caboose. And he's actually swapped out to a USP. His teammates have all Glocks except for the P250, and Henny tapping away. Finds one with the CZ. Has to be so careful with his bullets here. Ooh. Has so few, but the kill's starting to come in. Now the brothers, Henny and Lucas, looking to do it all. Henny with another kill.
He's got 2.
Brings it back. 2 bullets, 2 kills. Needs to find Caboose. Caboose on 3 kills, needs to find a full ace for himself. Tapping away at Henny, getting double picked. The brothers playing this one excellently, and Lucas cleans it up. A great pistol round there, and Immortals, they managed to close it out. Caboose did well to get himself 3 kills, but his teammates could not join him.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for the Foundation. That was a round which they probably would have thought that they had a good shot at, but Immortals come away one better. Lucas with 3 of his own, and of course Henny with 2. So force buy straight into it here. Pistols and armor from the Foundation. Did not get the bomb down, so they wouldn't have been able to buy next round with the AKs. But still not a favourable buy for them here.
Not great. Heavy pressure coming onto Henny, though. Has a UMP there. There is a flashbang that can go for him. Throws a grenade through, does some more damage. D on just 15 HP. If Henny fires here, he can find Caboose as well. Of course. Not that he knows what we know, but Henny in a good spot. This Molotov going to be good as well. The push comes in, finds 1, finds 2, and the 3rd with the Molotov. Bolts picks up ZQK in the meantime. And now MCA, the Desert Eagle, some body armor and a dream, a 1-on-5.
Smoke to greet him as he tries to have a look down into Plat. So it's going to be a bit of a slow round from him, one would expect. I mean, he doesn't have control of the bomb, doesn't have a weapon, really. I guess the Eagle counts. Could be quite a potent weapon, but against 5, it's not really that possible. FNX is going to go for a boost up here into the top of the drop room. As MC pushes out to Plat. Should be an easy cleanup for Lucas, and it is. A very, very nicely played anti-eco for Immortals, or well, in particular Henny.
That's rude. Bullets into the body, stabs the body. Just gotta make sure, you know.
Insult to injury, double tap.
You gotta make sure they're dead. They could...
That's only in the zombie movies,
I was about to make a joke about Counter-Strike zombie mode, but I know Valve will hear me and instantly implement it, so I don't want to do it.
You don't think a zombie mode would be kind of cool?
It would, but they need to they need to do other things with the game first, I think.
That's true.
For example, make the Negev not $2,000.
What about a $2,000 Negev in zombie mode? That'd be cool.
That would actually be great. That'd actually, see, that's where it'd be viable. You could use it, just hold down a line and kill hordes of zombies.
Yeah. Anyway, Steel and FNX combining to find a killer piece. The Foundation in this round do not have much of a buy to speak of, and they're not really making it work either. FNX with 3, Caboose giving him a bit of a helping hand onto Dizzy. Overall, it's gone the way we would have expected. Immortals getting the first 3 off the back of the pistol, and now again we have to see what Foundation can show us.
I think it was 4 actually, not 3 there.
Oh, did you get 4?
I believe I saw 4 skulls in the bottom corner.
Okay.
And it must have been him because there was definitely no one on the Foundation that got a 4K. So.
Well, he got 3 towards the end, I think, was what we were going for there. But
sure.
Anyway, Immortals, yeah, 3 rounds now.
Double up out straight away as well.
Yeah, it's quite an expensive round really for Immortals. Normally teams go just for the bonus round in this one. But Immortals have decided to buy through to this one. I suppose if they do lose it, as long as they can save the double AWP through, then it doesn't really matter all that much. But if they lose and drop the double AWP, that's not going to be great.
Not really, especially as they don't have rifles to back the double AWPs up. They've got UMPs. They can work. I really have no more reservations about the UMP as a spot in the meta as a rifle substitute. It can definitely work, and Bolts has proved me right by finding 1 kill. Looking for more, dancing around Dizzy.
Yeah, I don't think he could continue to take that duel being on lower HP with a less than favorable weapon, falling back into the A-bomb site. Foundation here do seem to be setting up for a B take.
No gun for Dizzy.
Goes down to Henny. And the Foundation again faltering in this round. Molotov comes out, doing a bit of damage, quite a lot of damage. And the grenades come across as well, and I think that utility usage is probably something that I will echo here because it was very nice from Immortals, really dropping a lot of those Foundation players low, and the aim seems to be working on point right now for Immortals as well. A very easy round for them in the end.
They drop 1 UMP, the remaining 2 are upgraded to AK-47s. Merry Christmas, Immortals, you got some guns. They now have the full double AWP set up with rifles. They only had to pay for 1 of them. Of course, they did purchase both AWPs, but the 2 players with UMPs that had UMPs, that's Bolts and Lucas, are both up around the $7,000 to $8,000 mark. Care of getting those AKs for free. The Immortals economy really starting to get rolling now, and that is something that the Foundation are going to have to try and limit. They need to get some kills on the board, need to get some rounds going, as if they allow Immortals to run away with this, it's going to be pretty rough for them.
Yeah, definitely. D is in a spot here that may be able to get a kill. He knows Bolts is there, peeks around the corner, but the aim not working too well for him. Still, Bolts does go down, which is an AK, and I'm not so sure I'm a fan of that position, really, against an eco buy. Like, like it's kind of a one-and-done position. Yeah, he gets 2 kills there, but he gets traded out, drops his AK over. What's the harm in really just holding back in the A-bomb site? Yeah,
I mean, that sort of position can work great on a gun round because you usually don't assume that there's going to be 5 players there. You might get 2 pushing O and then you can fall back as opposed to an eco, where they're more likely to move in a big clump, but it works out for him either way. His teammates do the damage, clean it up. 5-0 for Immortals over the Foundation. The buy is
already at 5-0. I was just like, wow.
Yeah. So the rounds at 0 and 5. ZQK and D also at 0 and 5. It's unfortunate.
MC's at 1 and 5.
Yeah, but he's breaking the pattern, you see. Branching out, man. Branching out.
Oh, that's rooted.
I mean, there was already a tree joke there, but now you're... All right, cool.
I don't know. I just wanted to say something that was related to a tree.
It's okay. The dream right now,
maybe I was barking up the wrong tree.
We need Foundation to play against Legacy. That's what we need.
Yeah, that's definitely...
The tree game.
Yeah.
The top of the tree versus
But see,
the
Legacy,
roots.
they're not like they have the tree as their logo, but it's not really like a play on words or anything.
Doesn't mean I can't make tree jokes, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Nothing will stop me making bad jokes if I want to.
That is the cast's way.
Such is life.
Gonna get a good start in this round, though, for Immortals. As Henny finds the opening pick onto ZQK, and these first 5 rounds have been so convincing for Immortals. It just seems as though the Foundation have got nothing. Like, the only round which has been close was that pistol round, and even then they still found a way to lose that. So, I don't know...
Snatching defeat from the jaws of victory.
I don't know if it's too early to call, but, like... Are you feeling as though there's like 16-1, 16-0 kind of on the cards here? Because that's kind of where I'm feeling.
Yeah, especially given that the rounds that Immortals have been winning haven't been close. I mean, there is 2 players right now for the Foundation whose score is the same as their round score, which means that it's not like there's been a lot of fragging being done and Immortals have just been better. It's just been, you can see it here, like this. Just the Foundation being outclassed. They do bring it back into a 2-on-2 with some good frags coming in from Caboose and MCE, but Caboose now needs to do it all. Left all alone. 2 kills for him in this round. It's on just 7 HP. That missed the shot initially, but Henny will be able to clean it up.
Double
2
AWP.
kills for both him and Steel on the double AWPs. They both stay alive. 6-0. And 0 and 6 for D and ZQK.
Yeah. Caboose is really the only one that's fragging at the moment for the Foundation. MC's got 2, Dizzy's got 1. So this is not a good feeling for him. This is not a good feeling for the Foundation at all, either at this moment. And Immortals are going to be thinking, well, this is a pretty easy day at the office. It's like a walk in the park. I suppose Cobblestone wouldn't be too bad to walk around. It'd be cool.
Yeah, be a nice tourist destination.
I'd go there. I'm a big fan of castles.
I like castles. Oh, that grenade. Bouncing off the wall just so it explodes at face height.
Right, perfect.
That'd suck. Can you imagine if that actually happened, though? Like, you're just standing around a castle and a grenade pops up out of nowhere. Hello!
I find the chances of that are highly unlikely at this point.
Yeah, me too. But still scary. Either way, first kill going the way of Immortals once again. Lucas going to get the second. FNX. Not even bothered by the Molotov, just extinguish it with a smoke. Doesn't want to give him the opportunity to have a kill on him if he peeks out. It's just like, nah. Hold on, guys. I can do this one. I know how to play this.
3v5 again for the Foundation. At least Caboose is alive, so there's a slim chance.
Yeah, I think he's actually 7 and 5 at the moment, so he's actually positive. He's actually fragging, but the rest of his team
is
not really there joining him, especially with 2 players still on 0. If ZQK and D go down without kills in this round, we're going to have a double James Bond going on.
Oh, yes.
Because I don't think there's any assists on them either. I think they're both 0, 0, and 6 at the moment.
What was that James Bond title that we came up with in the last map? A Chance to Die.
Yeah, A Chance to Die, that's the one.
This is, what is it, 007 Mark II, A Chance to Die.
Double 007
starring D and ZQK with 7 chances to die, all of which they took their chance.
Oh, man. That's... I feel like it's a bit harsh, but it's also accurate.
Well,
so
I mean, look, you can't sugarcoat a 0 and 7.
You can't, especially 2 of them. The double James Bond dream is real. That said, though, MI5 would be a lot more effective with 2 James Bonds. Or would they just be more destructive? I'm not actually sure. Not sure how well 1 James Bond works out for them. But
yeah, that's true.
First kill going the way of Dizzy this time. Deagling out bolts with the help of MCE, but FNX,
how
not a care in the
confident
world.
he is.
This is a guy who had experience on SK, by the way. He's been on the best team in the world. He has all the confidence against these guys right now. He throws a smoke, but he's still playing around with it. Caboose wants to challenge him. FNX will fall back, though, having not really taken actually no damage at all in that engagement. Did spot him out as well. Gets a bit of information still. At the end of the platform, waiting for this peak to come in. Looks like Drop is going to be the play, though, and FNX is still here.
So Dizzy's at least been able to retrieve an M4. Pop Flash comes in. He's not going to be too affected by that. There's no one peeking him. Steal gets a kill onto Caboose. And that's the key player for the Foundation. Down now. Well, I suppose Dizzy in this round is the key player, really. But given that he's got that M4, I still don't think he's going to be able to get much done here. But look, I've been proven wrong in the past. But it just feels to me like Immortals is having way too easy of a time here. Picks coming across the board. Trades come for them as well. But another one goes the way of ZQK, so maybe not yet time to ride out the Foundation. But now it is. Henny and FNX clean things up. 8-0 now. Immortals on, well, easy street right now.
We finally have a kill. 1 and 8 for ZQK. Still 0-0-8 for D, though, which is unfortunate for him. It's the double op still persisting for Immortals at this point. They're at 8-0 and showing no signs of slowing down. The real problem for Foundation, it's not even their strats. Like, they're moving around the map as a unit. They're doing okay. They just are not hitting shots at all. It's just Caboose is fragging for them. MCE and Dizzy have got a couple of things here and there. D is still on 0. ZQK just got his first.
Yeah, the frags are not coming across, that's for sure.
Not at all.
And Immortals, yeah, they're just plugging away every single round. Honestly, just where's the opening for the Foundation? I suppose they just need to hit the shots, but when you're going up against Immortals, that's not the easiest of tasks.
They're confident Immortals as well. They started out playing not exactly timidly, but they gave a little bit of respect over to the Foundation. But we've seen recently with the aggressive map control and everything else, they've given that up. They're just thinking, all right, we're better than these boys. We know that. They probably know that too. Let's make them realize that.
Yeah.
Getting aggressive, shutting them down. FNX waiting here, tucked in the stairs.
Is it time for an execute from the Foundation onto the B site? We've
I feel like it's going to be the Foundation getting executed.
Perhaps. The tree's going to get chopped down. We haven't seen much in the ways of a full execute out from the Foundation. Doesn't look like that's going to be the case. There's a couple of smokes and mollies coming in, but not really what we might expect if we were talking about a full execute. So Lucas, he would have heard those drops. FNX gets one up on Plat, drops back. Good start for him. Player advantage for Immortals. All they have to do now is trade, and that's something that they've been able to do very, very well. Don't even necessarily need to trade if they're not getting any losses in their direction either, as all the shots hitting. D does find one.
He got one.
Everyone is off 0 frags for the Foundation, but still not off 0 rounds because they just lose another one. That's 9 for Immortals now. Look at that money.
Oh my goodness.
I want to see the auto snipers. I want to see the negatives.
Can we? Negev, that's the thing though. You say, look at that money. I want to see negevs.
No, I know.
You think an old Counter-Strike, negevs are cheap now.
At this point, it's like, well, who even cares, right?
Exactly.
Let's just take 5 negatives into a round and see what happens.
And do you know how much money they'll spend for 5 negevs?
$10,000.
$10,000. Normally that wouldn't even get
Someone
you 2
could
negevs.
drop all of the negatives.
And like normally, back in the day, not even back in the day, like 3 weeks ago, $10,000 wouldn't even get you 2 negevs.
No.
Now it gets you 5. How Counter-Strike has changed.
It's the economic crash of the negatives.
Oh man, FNX still fighting the first kill there onto D. No more kills for him. Got himself 1 in this round at least. That's spray for bolts. Oh man. See you later, ZQK. That was completely through the door. Did 100 damage straight up. Caboose down drop looking for kills. Can't find the first. It's going to be pretty hard to frag when the rest of your team isn't fragging. Dizzy and MC left all alone. Henny playing close with the orb. This is the Henny we want to see. And he closes out both.
Another easy round for Immortals. 10-0. I don't know what else to say.
Easy peasy.
Maybe I could just start singing.
I don't know. We could not do that, perhaps. The one thing I do want to talk about, actually, I'm going to do some analysis for you. Here you go.
Here we go.
The one,
This will
looking
be
back
good.
to that bit.
Always dangerous.
Looking back to that B execute before, right? They threw out smokes towards the end of the platform, then Molotovs onto stairs and Molotov into the cutout. The one position that all of the B executes I've seen maybe 2 that account for this. The one position that B executes really never account for, and the one that you had to check, is the boxes on platform. We saw FNX took a headshot angle over it standing on the wall.
Yeah.
I've also seen players jump on top of those. That's the one thing where if you're going for a B execute, that has to be a spot you check because it's hard to get a Molotov that actually accounts for it.
Yep.
So it's a spot you've got to check, and that's how FNX was able to get his first headshot there.
They didn't really check it either, did they?
No, because rather than playing on top, he played over it, which is still an angle you don't see very much, but it's one that worked for him. You got a headshot, fell back to sight, and then could get more, but that's the one angle that you really need to check if you're going for a sort of platform execute, and it didn't work for the Foundation. I'm not going to say it's the one thing that sort of fell apart for them, because right now they're just getting out-aimed and outclassed, but there you go. There's one thing at least.
Yeah, I suppose. Well, I mean, they did take Cobblestone against Cloud9 to 16-14, so I don't know why they're not showing up here. Well,
they took
I
it
do
to
know
14-16,
14-16,
to clarify, it wasn't a win.
Yes.
But then again, Immortals also, last time they played Rush on Cobble, it was their most recent match on Cobble, I believe. Probably actually their most recent match of Zen League. Zen League, goodness,
Boy,
Pro
oh
League.
boy.
Ah, long days.
That's the dream, dude. That's the dream.
It was a 16-1. So it's looking to be similar, if not 1 round better here.
Yeah.
11-0.
You could very well be 16-0. Like, none of these rounds have looked even remotely winnable for Foundation, except the pistol round. How
many 16-0s have we seen on Cobble, though? I'm pretty sure SK 16-0'd Renegades on Cobble. I know Renegades and 16-0'd SK in Revenge on Cobble. There's been quite a few.
I don't think I've ever casted a 16-0, actually.
I don't think I have either. But this might be the... What are you doing, Dizzy? Jumping out with his knife out there. Oh, man. There he goes.
He's pretending he's Naruto. Just jump at them with my knife.
Oh, no. At least 1 kill goes in the way of the Foundation in that, but...
Oh, 1 kill is not enough.
You need, like, 5?
1 kill every 3 rounds.
Hold on, what do we got? 1 and 12, 3 and 12, 2 and 12, 3 and 12, 7 and 12. So that's what? 7, 10, 16 kills. 16 kills. Lucas has that by himself. Henny has more than that. Henny is 19-1.
Jesus.
Casual KD of 19. That's the dream right there, boys.
Oh.
My goodness. This is just masterclass on how to play Cobble.
What do you even say about this kind of matchup? It's so mismatched at this point that...
Foundation, they pulled this roster together like a week ago. They've played 2 games. They actually played well against Cloud9, especially, you know, on Cobble,
14,
they
16,
went down
14,
14-16. That's a really good score, especially against the number 2 team in the Pro League.
Yep.
Right now, against number 6, they've got really, like, nothing.
Well,
unless they have some sort of ridiculously god-tier CT side, which I don't really see.
Maybe, but maybe they just came into that game against Cloud9 with some strats they'd obviously not used before because they were fairly new. Maybe. Cloud9 didn't know what was coming. Immortals had a chance to look at the demo, the VOD. And
The
now
other
they know
thing
what's
as
coming.
well that the Foundation might have done is just go for the classic, we're a new roster, we have nothing to lose, let's take it to them.
Yeah.
Just pug it.
Let's frag it up.
Yeah, whereas now, fragging it up is very much what they're not doing. Not
Okay.
fragging in any direction, really. This time, though, going out onto the side, MCE finds one and not the second, though. FNX too good, finds two before going down. Trade's actually coming through both ways, but
Still.
Lucas grabs two, brings it back. CQK can't even find one on the flank. You got to land that spray with the UMP.
There's like 2 situations there where I thought, okay, this duel is going to go the way of the Foundation, and then
No.
Immortals win it anyway. So when you catch your opponent off guard and you still don't win the duel, like, obviously you're not going to be winning any rounds.
No, it's... Look at the money as well. They're going for a force buy. They can get some
13-0.
AKs and armor out, but they haven't won with full buys. I feel like they won't win with this.
No, I agree.
I'm dying, pardon me.
I think you're dying just like
I
the
missed my
Foundation.
mute button.
Yeah. It happens. It happens. 16-0s happen. Maybe tonight it happens for Immortals.
Maybe. Not even maybe at this point. They're only 3 rounds away from it.
Yeah,
2
well,
away from getting this half and a 15-0, and then it's just
the pistol's always
a
like
single
a 50-50.
T-sided pistol round. I feel like Immortals can take that, though. I mean, the last
Yeah.
pistol wasn't all that close.
Well,
Well, Caboose got 3 kills, but
No
his
one else
team
got
got
anything.
nothing, and he was closed out in 2-on-1, so...
All right. Oh, okay. Here we go. Maybe it's time for Foundation to get around. Bolts. It does take down D. We will see.
Nice rhyme. 4-on-3 now. Foundation desperately scrabbling for something. The best they can get right now is a 2-13, but that's better than a 0-15.
Oh, yeah.
And he's behind them, though, coming in. Not behind them, but coming in through the bottom of mid. Looking to check into connector, which is where the T's will be going. Steals on plat with an AWP, looking for more kills. MCE spraying through the door. Henny now knows he's there. Big spray through, and MCE runs out of ammo. Other than that, actually, no, I think he just stopped firing because I didn't hear the low ammo flicks.
Oh.
There you go, Valve. They actually have a use. I used them. There you go. I was listening for them. But 3-on-2, and he does quite just miss the shot. But Dizzy and Caboose to find some kills. Good kill from Dizzy onto Henny as he's jumping out, but it tells you the aggression, and Bolts has closed out Caboose.
Oh.
He'll get both. 4K
14.
for Bolts.
All right. Is the 16-0 dream alive?
What do we
It's
got?
well
20
and
and 2. 18 and 6.
10,
So
10
let's
to
see.
1 KD.
KD. We've got a KD of 10. We've got a KD of 3. We've got a KD of 3, actually 2 3s. I can't bother working out. Just better than 2, and then Steel 7 and 3. Mathematics is hard.
Just better than 2.
Just better than 2. So no one
So
below
all of
2
them are above
KD.
2 to 1 KD.
That's ridiculous.
Yes, that is.
I'd love to see the ADR for Henny at the end of this game as well, considering he's got 20 kills now. He's not going to get any more in this one. He did get, actually no, he did get 1 before going down, but he's got 20 kills. We've played 14 rounds.
Yeah,
His
so-
ADR is well above 100.
Oh, yeah. It'd be like, I don't know, because he's been using the AWP. So he's basically been one-hit killing everything.
Yeah. So that, oh, great shot there from MCE. I thought Steel was somehow going to hit that flick just because I've been expecting Immortals to hit everything, but in a 3-on-3, Bolt's playing close. ZQK needs to hit this shot. If he doesn't find this close angle against Bolts, this is all done. Here comes the peak, though, and he's not even looking at the close angle, so Bolts takes him out.
They know where Bolts is.
They do know where Bolts is. I guess you got to take what silver linings you can, but both players approaching this from the same angle and not checking their right. Neither of them looking that way.
15-0.
FNX with a
A victory.
messy spray, but he gets it. Victory dance. One
dance.
T-side pistol round stand between Immortals and 16-0 the Dream. And I feel for the Foundation right now because it's not like map 1 was a 16-14 against them and they were demoralized and got 16-0 to map 2. They're starting out hot off the press with potentially a 16-0. They then have to go and play another map against Immortals after this.
All I can see in my brain right now is that big 16-0 made up of little 16-0s from HLTV.
Yeah. I've
It's
seen
coming.
the one.
It's coming. Well, there's one round, I suppose, between that. But even if Root does... Oh, Root. See, look, I've done it. The Foundation. Why do they not just call themselves Root? Maybe they wouldn't get 16-0 if they said Root. Anyway, if the Foundation...
So the root of the issue is
The root of the issue is that logo and the name. But if they get the pistol round, it's... Who really cares? Like, they're still going to lose.
they've got to get 14 straight after getting the pistol. So
I don't think anyone in the history of ever has managed to come back from 15-0 to make it to overtime.
the biggest comeback that I can think of was a 13-2, maybe a 14-1, but that was on Old Nuke by a team that got thrashed on their T side and then joined CT and just bossed it because that map used to be hilariously CT sided. So
Yeah.
I can't think of any comeback I mean, Fnatic, I think, 2015, Fnatic came back from like 11-4s, 12-3s all the time because they take the magic Pronax pause and then just defeat everyone. But I don't think there's been a 15-0 back to 15-15 in professional player that sticks out in my memory.
Not to me either. Maybe at the lower tiers, but never up towards the higher tiers.
Yeah,
like,
no.
even this is still quite high tier Counter-Strike,
It's Pro League,
comparatively speaking. So I don't think it happens here. Certainly not the way that we've been seeing the Foundation going today. I mean, just the aim's not working out for them.
No.
And when the aim doesn't work, like that fundamental part of the game, even if you've got the most amazing strats.
It's one of the roots of the game.
That is the root of the game. It's
Gotta
the
be able to hit your
foundation.
shots.
It's the foundation of Counter-Strike, really.
Got to be able to hit your shots. And there's not even too much we can analyze. Like, this is one of those times where even if I had, you know, the full YNK sort of Weatherman thing available and I could break down rounds, I'd be able to do that, bring up a round and be like, all right, let's have a look what happened here.
So
here's everyone getting headshot.
Yeah, pretty much. But let's find out whether this is going to be a 16-0 or whether it is not going to be a 16-0.
Immortals straight B.
That's the major storyline for me in
Super
this one. And yeah, I think going straight B is the good idea here for Immortals. They know that they're
out. Look how fast
really
they're going. My goodness, they don't care. Super speedy. Bolts jumps out with a Glock. Is fighting a lot of players. Still looking for this headshot. How have you not hit that shot, Dizzy? Barely even tagged. Well, between two of them, they do tag Bolts low, but the engagement's still going the way of Immortals right now. 4-on-4. But they've already closed out MC. No, he finally hits the shot on just 8 HP, tapping away. This is looking better now. It's FNX in a 1-on-3 to clutch out the 16-0. Maybe not going to happen. He's taking a lot of damage, low health, but he's still going to find this kill. 1-on-2, 4 HP. This will be a clutch for the ages. Doesn't matter that it doesn't matter.
One bullet! He threw away the Glock and it's only got 1 bullet in the USP.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
He's running away to get another gun, going into connector there. His gun's available here, but let's go back and get the bomb. This one's empty as well. At least there's more bullets to put in it. Yeah. 55 seconds left.
I want to see him pull this off.
Please.
I want the 16-0. Let's go.
He's shooting the wrong way at the moment. Both these guys playing this one properly. Caboose and D just waiting around. If FNX wins this, they're going to be tilted off the planet. Caboose has been spotted out. FNX is still convinced there's one coup, but doesn't really have the bullets to keep spamming that. Just needs a second pick to come through. And D hits it. No 16-0 today. 15-1 instead, but...
Disappointed.
I feel like this isn't going to go too much further.
No, I mean, it could even be 16-1 here. Let's see what Immortals do decide to do. Of course, they force into it.
Why not?
Did not get the bomb down, so I wonder if they're just going to go rush straight into the B-bomb site once more. Straight down drop. Wouldn't be the worst of ideas with this kind of a buy.
I feel like if they'd actually formatted that rush a little bit better, it would have worked. Like, Bolts went straight down drop and then straight out the window. Because overconfidence. Not even overconfidence, just confidence. But if they'd actually done... They've gone together as 5.
Oh, boy.
See, like, now they've found 1. ZQK on a long rotate. They made it into a 3-on-2. Yeah, B's done. 1 player on flank, 1 player coming through connector. Steel's going to be ready for it. It's B. Is it game? If ZQK dies, this is done. Really. I think it's too much for D to do. He does do a lot of damage to Bolts, though, but can't hit the last bullet. Bolts on 7 HP, and they couldn't find the shot. ZQK does find 1, though, and Bolts is still game to challenge this. The grenade's coming out, and great grenade from D. Now Henny in the clutch situation, 1-on-2. This is looking so good for Immortals, but not this time. ZQK and D make it work. 3 kills between them. 2 and 15. Like, this surely isn't too long-lived, though. Immortals, they'll take a Glock round coming up. They'll get the AKs out, and then I feel it's done.
Delaying the inevitable is the phrase that comes to mind here.
Very much that.
I mean... Immortals could just go pistol armor again. Yeah, look, I'm not that surprised to see them buying back into this round. And they can actually afford UMPs as well. Galil, they just want to keep buying until they win.
Well, at the moment, when they're up 15-2, they can do that. If this was like a 10-5 or something, then no, I'd say take a save. But they have all the rounds in the world to play with. All they're doing right now, realistically, is sure that maybe if they keep losing these force buys, which they're not, they could make this game go on a little longer than it has. But what they're doing is keeping the pressure up on the Foundation. They're not letting them breathe. And it's a 2-on-5 for ZQK and D again. This time, though, not going to go their way. 16-2 is the final scoreline.
Yeah. So, a very, very short-lived first map there between Foundation and Immortals. Immortals coming away with a very convincing victory. Would have liked to see the 16-0 just for 16-0's sake, you know.
Just for the memes.
Just for the fun of it. But
not this time.
Still, it's a hugely convincing victory for Immortals. Probably even more than I thought was going to come out.
Yeah, and I mean, the other thing is as well, the Foundation got 2 rounds on the board, right? But every single round that they lost, Immortals just force bought. They're like, all right, okay, we've lost a round. We're not going to take an eco and give the Foundation a chance to actually go, all right, let's mow them all down. Let's not lose a single player. Let's have a bit of an easier round. No, we're going to keep forcing, keep the pressure up. And it means that Foundation, even though they did avoid the 16-0, barely, they didn't have a chance to breathe.
Yeah.
That said, let it be said that nobody 16-0 is the Foundation. Not yet.
Not yet. I wonder if we're going to be seeing something similar on Inferno or not. It's not as comfortable a map for the Immortals, I don't think, as Cobblestone is. So maybe it'll be a little bit closer. Depends on which side these two teams start on. Maybe if Immortals on the CT side, then we do see a bit of a shutout once more. But we'll have to find out after the break. We're going to go away. We'll be back, though, as soon as possible.